when you get to my weight, you can carry it around too, and you can start to kid yourself too. Convince yourself that you're not that big.
This is a big reason why in our rebuild, we do touch on the psychology of getting somebody to realise that they need to change. You've done it, and the transformation is just insane.
It is a little bit harder, and again, that's one of the things I go, geez, I wish I'd done this 20 years ago.
Why do you think that the rebuild was different to other challenges that you've done before?
The first program, the one that jumped out was like the DEXA scan. The penny dropped for me there that thought, no, this one will be serious.
It's the oldest you've ever been, and it's the best shape you've ever been in your life.
It is the best I've ever been in.
There's too much Ozempic, TRT, do this, influencers projecting it, whatever. What made you just put on the tunnel vision and say, I'm just going to do this rebuild with these guys, and I'm just going to follow this process until I get the result? So here we are today at what is it? Podcast? Podshape in Brisbane. Joined with MPT Rebuild Success client Aaron Marbus, who's joined me all the way from Melbourne today. So thank you, mate. How was the flight?
It was good. Good flight. Good quick flight.
Awesome. So we're actually doing this before the workout today. Usually I do it the other way around, and we go and train, and then we come and do this. But today we're doing the podcast first, and then we're going to be training back, traps, and a bit of shoulders.
A bit of shoulders, yep.
And basically discussing how you lost 47 kilos in total now in 45?
Yeah, call it 45. There's about 2 weeks to go, yep, so 45.
In 45 weeks, which is just incredible. So I'll open up the floor, man. Just tell me a bit about kind of yourself, age, what you do, family, background, all that kind of stuff.
So 46 years old, married, 5 kids.
Yeah.
So I had them very early. So I started that little brew around about when I was 20. So it's been pretty full on life since 20, and and working. I'm a plumber. I was a plumber by trade. The last probably 5 to 8 years, I've moved more off the tools into the project management side. So that's probably, would you call it a step back? No, it's off the manual labour, but more into the mental type labour, managing people and all that there. So I'm good at managing everyone else and managing and all that. But when it came to my weight and all that sort of stuff, wasn't very good at that.
That was put at the end of the priority list, mate.
That was put it very, very right down the bottom at the end. So, look, that's sort of me as far as my weight and where I'm at. That's something I've been with for life. That's even as a young kid, probably even grade 2. I still remember the old school bullying back then at grade 2. So it's followed me right through life. It's probably been, whether I was just blessed with those genetics, I don't know, but that's me. So it's followed me right through life, and it's carried me up until this point. So this has been a massive, massive turning point. Like, I've had a few wins here and there before, not 45 or 47, nowhere near that kilo, not that win at all. No, we're talking 15, 20 is probably the best.
Okay.
Maybe got up to a 30, but they were all sort of on a base of a 12-week most. Get it done in 3 months, look great.
Yeah, the whole challenge mindset.
The whole challenge mindset, that's right. And then when you come off that challenge, you're sort of, then you're left on your own.
Yeah, you typically go back to your set point.
You go back to your set point. You will ride it out for probably another 6 to 8 weeks. But then you will go back to old ways because you're like, but I look good now, so I can have this. I can eat that now because I can have this. But it creeps up on you fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so just for context, so you started with us in October.
Yep.
We're filming
24,
this 24th?
October 24th in 2024, yep.
Yeah, there you go, yep. And we're filming this in, September, 15?
Yep, 15.
15 today. So your starting weight?
132 kilos.
Yeah. Now, remember, we're going to be flashing B-rolls of how you look at 132 kilos, with your permission, of course.
Yep.
And
that's
today,
another big step, mind you. That's something that...
putting that out online.
Putting that out online is just... When you sent it to me last night, I had a split decision, yes, no, and I went, well, we're here.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about. You got to, don't you?
Yeah. And I mean, you'll be pleased to know that I typically will either bully the trolls back, or I'll just delete their comments.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's going to be following you around the internet.
And at the end of the day, I did what I did.
Well, everyone's got everything to say online anyway.
That's right.
So regardless of what you do, and exactly. So don't even worry about it. But so 132 kilos starting point, and then today you weighed in at 85 or 86.
It's called 86. Yesterday's weigh-in was 85.3,
which would be an all-time low for you in your adult life, I would assume.
85 is probably something I was at when I was in grade 6 as a heavy lad.
Interesting, because that was my next question. Because we only really know you at 45 years old last year when you started at 132, and now we know you today at 46 at 85 kilos and 8% body fat. Where were you coming out of high school? So you said in primary school you were always the
always
chubby
always
kid?
a big kid, yeah, always the chubby kid, always the bigger one. Always,
Yeah.
you know, when it comes to school uniforms and that, you know, I'd always buy the bigger size, and it was always everything. And high school's pretty much the same. I was always the bigger kid, the bigger lad, but not the big, like, strong football lad, just the overweight lad. I was always the big fella, you know.
Okay.
Everyone, even going through high school life, and then getting out of high school and going into sort of, like, I started work, basically apprenticeship as a plumber when I was 18. Even going into that apprenticeship, I was the big lad, and I was the work site joke as well. You know, I was always the big fella. Hey, big fellas, straight away you adorn that. And even still, that followed me around up until before this challenge. Even now, even at 46, people say, hey, straight away, oh, big fella. Like,
Yeah, wow.
Okay, why? Because I'm not tall. I'm 6 foot. You know, that's normally sort of normal for a bloke. So why am I big fella? Is it because I'm tall? I'm not 7 foot. It's big fella, obviously, because of the size I am. So yeah, it's followed me from right through for 30 years, I guess. Since grade 2, you're about a 6-year-old. So yeah.
And how much were you weighing then? Like 18, started the apprentice, finished high school. Can you remember roughly what size you were?
When I was an apprentice, probably in my early 20s. So when I got married, I reckon my wedding day, even there, I was probably up around about the same, around about the 132.
Yeah, right.
I have tipped out at about 143.
All-time high,
all-time
143.
high, yep.
Okay.
Yep, got up into the 140. So
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So were your parents big?
No, look, my mum's not. My dad is 6 foot. He's carries a bit of weight around now, but that's just your typical bigger.
Well, who doesn't these days at that age too?
That's right. So, but when you say big, no, and has he ever been? No, he's a builder, and has always been reasonably fit. But no, never been a big lad. That's just something that sort of I got blessed with and followed me around.
Yeah, which is, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't want to get into too much technobabble and too scientific, but you have around 80 kilos of lean mass is what your kind of scan
That's
suggesting.
what it came in, yeah.
So a lot of people, when they're big, they can throw out things like, "Oh, I'm just big boned."
Yeah,
I'm burly.
That one got thrown around a lot.
And then when you go and get a body composition scan, I think sometimes it really gives you, and I'm not speaking for you, but it gives a lot of our clients a big reality check. It's like, no,
definitely.
you're not big boned. Your bones actually weigh 4 kilos,
That's
4.5
right.
if you're massive, Samoan. And if your muscle's 80, then holy shit, I'm carrying 52 kilos of fat, which I think I've got your scan here in front of me, and I'll flash it up on the screen. Your first scan, you were carrying, you were 33%, which was 45
or
45 kilos of body fat you're carrying. Yeah, so it's pretty hard to...
Oh, exactly like you said, when you get that scan done, that is and when you see the picture of it too, and you just see that round balloon shape, like you see the B-roll and you see the real life, and even that photo that you done, that comparison photo, like when I stare at that now, you can when you get to my weight, you can carry it around too, and you can start to kid yourself too. You can get into that very, very easy. You can convince yourself that you're not that big. And it's generally a photo like that because you don't really strip down to your jocks and take a photo very often. So when you got clothes on in there, you can look at yourself and go, yeah, you know, I'm big, and yeah. But you can sort of hide it with long tops and all that there. But when you start to strip off, and that was the one good thing about like when I came into MPT was straight up, that DEXA is what you got done first. And straight up, when you get that and you read that and you go, right, I'm going to embark on this journey, and you look at that DEXA scan, straight away, that's the reality is, you're not big boned, you're fat.
Correct.
You're overweight. And it was actually funny, I've done some at home with some of the training that I've had to sort of improvise with things. I had a weighted vest on. So I bought one of those weighted vests, and it can only carry 30 kilo.
There you go.
And I was doing calf raises with it. And I actually had that 30 kilo vest on, and I'd done the first set, and then I just sort of sat there and thought, hey, this is less than what I was carrying. I've lost more than this. And that was heavy. Like, standing around doing 3 sets, that was heavy, like weighing down on me, and I couldn't believe it. So things like that really jump out at you,
Yeah, for sure.
It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is a big reason why in our rebuild we do touch on the psychology of getting somebody to realise that they need to change, and then getting them into fast results, keeping momentum, fixing their metabolism. It's all kind of built, and that's where going and getting a scan, and you did it with Tony down in Essendon, who I know who runs a body composition scan and was involved in the bodybuilding comps and stuff like that. So not that I told you to go to him, but you just Googled him.
No, that's his ideal. I didn't know you actually that he knew. It was when I went in there and told him what I was doing. And I said, I'm signing up to a challenge. Well, not a challenge. I'm signing up to a program. bloke up in Sydney, sort of rattled
Gold
on
Coast.
it there. Sorry, Gold Coast, Sydney, yeah, Gold Coast.
That's okay.
And just sort of got into there, and then he goes, "It's not Mike Petersen, is it?" And I go, "Yeah, it is actually." I said,
Yeah.
"You know him?" He goes, "Yeah, I know him," and it went from there. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the good thing is that it wasn't just me highlighting, "Hey mate, you've got 45 kilos of fat." He would have told you
Tony's
point blank
unreal.
as well.
Tony's great.
Hey mate, you've got 45 kilos of fat here. We need to get 35 of those off at least.
Definitely. Yep. Tony's one to look at it too and go, "This is where your problem is. This is here. This isn't good. That's good." He doesn't sugarcoat anything as well. And going back and getting the interim ones after that with Tony as well is also he's just as encouraging in the feedback as well. So Tony's all over it. Yeah, really good to get it done there.
Well, he was quite surprised, wasn't he?
He was
with what you've done. Yeah.
When he said, "You amaze me every time you come in." He goes, I think I've had 4 done with him over the journey that we did.
Yeah.
And the last one we got done when we hit that 10%, which was back in August.
Yep.
Yeah, he was floored by it, and then the comparison photos too.
Oh, mate, it's quite impressive, and I'll get the B-roll up over our voice here. But going back through your progress photos, which you courageously took, because as you said, when you look like that, you don't want to fucking take pictures of yourself, full body, front, side, and back in your jocks. But you've done it, and the transformation, the metamorphosis, I would call it, is just insane. You don't even look like the same bloke.
Nah, and this is where this whole program for me has been such an epic journey. Like it's been that final battle that I've tried for so long. These photos and that, I take a few photos and on these other journeys, but there's not enough change. You get a bit smaller, and you generally, a lot of those other times I've had wins have been based on the weight. I've gone from 130, now I'm 115. I've lost 15 kilos. Take a photo, look all right, just a little bit smaller. But this one has gone next level, like body composition, shape, the stuff that I've always sort of aspired and wanted to get to is now there. And it's just, it's just different level now.
Yeah. And the interesting thing with you too is that your calories are actually quite high. So I had a look at them last week before we started our peak week protocol, if you will, which if you're interested in that is really we're just cutting your carbs back a little bit so you can tighten up. And you'd probably notice that you tightened up a lot.
Did, in those couple
across
of days
the chest, especially through the lower abdomen, underneath the belly button, everything just kind of goes into shrink wrap, which I learnt doing bodybuilding comps back in the day. And obviously Suki is someone that's lost I think 50 kilos in total. He won 2 or 3 comps with me a couple of years back.
Yeah, right.
Similar size to you.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw.
No, I've seen him and I've jumped on his Instagram then as well. Yeah, definitely sort of used him as a bit of an inspiration and watch what he's done too.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, though, you're 14 years older. You're 46, which I didn't realise. You look great today.
I still keep reminding myself that I'm still 46 and still trying to punch it out. It is a little bit harder, and again, it's one of the things I go, geez, I wish I'd done this 20 years ago.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you had something to say to somebody who's been watching me for a while, who's a big fella, who thinks maybe it's not for them, they can't do it, insert excuse, what would you say to them?
There is no excuse.
Start yesterday, right?
Start yesterday, exactly. Because you'll end up exactly like where I'm at, 46, and still got a bit of work to do. But I'm hooked now. I want to go next level. I want to change it, and bodybuilding shows and all that's not really something I'm going for. But just the body shape to be able to know that okay, I'm 46 and I can still do it. It is a little bit harder. Don't get me wrong. But geez, man, if I had done this 20 years ago, it would have been phenomenal. And I think, look, I'm sort of in a good place in life. I've got a healthy family and I've got all that there. So I can't sit there and say I don't have anything to show for it. But geez, I think I would have been a lot better person, better husband, and better father if I had done this 20 years ago. There's a lot of things that my weight kept me back from missing out with my kids growing up, swimming lessons, all that sort of stuff. I didn't do a lot of that. And like I said before with the photos, when you said find some photos, I went back through a photo roll back to like the early 2000s and I struggled to find 6.
Wow.
Because you just don't take photos.
You hide, don't you?
Avoid it. You just hide. You're the one, I'll take that for you. Yeah, everyone get in a group shot, I'll take the photo. I don't need to be in it. I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
Because, and then that one pops out that you get and you just look at it and go, oh, that's terrible. But no, so anyone out there that's looking at it, doing it, like, jump on it. Regardless of age at the end of the day, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, do it. Do it now. There's no excuse in it. And this whole program, it hasn't been hard either.
Well,
it's been a very...
I was just about to touch on that because you said it is harder at your age versus if you had done it, at 30. But the saying that I use all the time is it's like choose your hard. It's like it was, hard to rebuild, which we'll get into what that means for you, and we'll give the viewer at home some examples of what the rebuild looks like for you, as in calories and what you're eating and how we exercise and all that kind of stuff. But it's like that's kind of hard because you're changing your lifestyle. But to me, and you might be able to agree or disagree, what's harder is remaining how you were.
Yes.
On your organs, on your joints, on your mood, on your energy, on your family, on those around you that are affected because you're, not feeling confident in your own skin and not fulfilling your own 100%. Potential. So when I say choose your hard, to you, was how hard the rebuild was it worth where you're at today?
Oh, definitely. When you say choose the hard, hard to change your lifestyle, hard to get into those routines, hard to get into that different eating, hard to sort of be watching there. But it only lasts a couple of months. Probably by the end of the first 12-week block, that hard became easy, if you know what I mean. Like it only took 12 weeks to learn it. And then all you had to do over the next, so I've done the 4 blocks, those next 3 blocks were refining it.
Yep.
So as opposed to hard when you're overweight, well, when's that going to stop? It's either going to stop when you
in the
do
grave.
This, or exactly as I was about to say, or when when you're laying over 6 foot down. That's the difference in the hard. Hard for a short period of time.
Yep.
Hard, and it'll only be as hard as for as long as you want it to be hard, and how much you want to put into it.
Yep.
We've all got lives, and we've all got there, and we've all got bits and work and whatnot there, but planning, like I said, I've become a project manager because I manage things, and managing myself was all at the end. Well, now start to manage a bit of it. Start to look at it and go, well, the simple things, pre-planning, and then with the assistance of the MPT, when you got all the food and all that there, and mind you too, the other good thing about the MPT is it's normal food. We're not trying to prepare weird ass, all sorts
Atlantic
of
fish,
and all that there, and it's just wholesome foods, easy eating, and you just get into that hard for 12 weeks. Like, what do they say? Most habits are broken in 20 days or something, 21 days.
Yep.
So get out of that habit of the old lifestyle, break into the new one, and then just refine it. And it's just getting easier and easier. And not only is it getting easier, it's getting more enjoyable. It's getting more motivating. It's like I said, motivation will only take you so far. You've got to have the discipline. So it's creating that discipline.
Yep.
The discipline, everything after that first 12 weeks is there. Now just enjoy the fruits. It's just, and like I said, I just want to keep going and moving it up and refining it, tuning this body in better, and
which I've always said. I think men generally, and I might be generalising, are typically happiest when they're progressing in something, whether it's their career, whether it's their family, getting a house, 100%. Mortgage, whatever.
Yep.
Men find purpose in progression.
Doing something. Progression and doing something.
And
exactly.
like you're saying now, you're addicted. Like you've gotten to the level where a lot of people they won't get to there. We have a lot of clients that will lose. In your situation, they might have lost 30 or even 20, and they'll be like, oh, look, I'm pretty happy with that. And they go off, and then 2, 3, 4 years later, they end up back at their set point.
And that's me. That's been me the whole journey.
Up until this time, But the way that we actually build this is we're trying to rebuild that set point. So your now set point, as Aaron Marbus in his mid-40s, moving into 50 and 60, is healthy and somebody who's looking to get the most out of his body within natural limits and within, the reality and the confinements of reality. So would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. Like it's exactly like what you said. It's at that different level. It's just it's that hard has become easy.
Yeah.
It's just and it's got a different purpose to it. But yeah, like you said, that most guys losing that 20 to 30, that's been me. Oh yeah, I'm okay now and all that there because
you're just lying to yourself. Like
to
speak frankly.
Because you bought a shirt that fitted, that finally looked good. I always wanted that shirt and it fitted, but about eight weeks later, sometimes 8 weeks as early as that to 6 months later, that shirt doesn't fit anymore.
Yeah, you're back.
And you're back into the old ways, and then you'll go into that cycle again. You'll hate yourself, you'll do it for another while, and whether that be 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, you finally get on the horse again, but by then you've crept up too far, and that's sort of been me each time. It's down to 100, up to 120, down to 110, up to 128, after that, and then this last year, that October, up to 132, I was looking at that 142 that we talked about. That was probably me getting back. So a couple of years before I started this, I was bouncing around and I was kind of maintaining it, but I was always up around that, anywhere from 115 to 125. But then it sort of crept up to that 132, and then I could see that 140. I could see it coming. I could see it coming very fast. And that's when I knocked on the MPT door and said, no, this is it. I'm going to get to there. And I know at 46, when I get to there, we talk about hard. it's going to be real fucking hard.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, the longer you wait, the harder it is.
You know, if I'm 50 and I'm up around 145, 150, how hard is that going to be?
Yeah,
it's going to get harder. So again, going back to that, anyone that's sort of sitting on the fence now, yeah, exactly. Choose your hard. Either choose it very hard later, or the short term.
Yeah. All right. So next question I've got for you is, why do you think that the rebuild was different to other, challenges that you've done before? Like, what was it that made you kind of get it and sink in and go, hey, I'm rebuilding my metabolism here, I'm upgrading my lifestyle, I'm focusing on getting to the end outcome and doing what it takes until. What was the difference, do you think, for you?
For me, it was obviously the first program, the one that jumped out was like the DEXA scan.
Yep.
That's the first program where people, someone will say, go out and do all that to hit you with that hard reality, like we talked about before. That's the first one. Obviously, a step back from that, we just talked about then, for me, it was I'm getting older and I could see that 140 coming, so I've got to do something.
Yep.
It was just lucky that I stumbled on the right program to get it. And then why the MPT carried me through? Well, again, that was the first, when I basically inquired and then you said, go and get that done, the penny dropped for me there. That thought, no, this one will be serious. This is someone that's not going to fuck around, and this is someone that's going to get it done properly because they want the science behind it.
Yeah.
They're not just... Most of them, you'll walk into a gym and go, come and do our 8-week challenge and win this and win that $10,000.
Here's a template, go and eat this.
That's it. But straight away when you said, first thing I want to do is get a DEXA, we'll go through all that crap there. Straight away I knew this one's going to be different because he wants the science behind it. He wants to look at what's going on and go, right, we're basing this and the calories and the nutrition, everything's built out of that DEXA scan. And then it was formed off that. And then the other part of that was it was an easy, like I said, goes back to real foods. It was eating this, this, and this, and I think when I started out, I think we were at about 2,200 calories to start with, which is not a bad gig. 2,200. Like I've tried all other diets in the past, down to like 1,200 calories a day, 1,200 calorie diet in the packs and the cookie cutter diets.
Yeah, you're far too big for that. It was way too much muscle mass on you when you're physical.
And so that brings back, obviously, the DEXA. You've seen what's there with that, and you're balancing it and you're creating it correctly off the right information. And that's what I think that just carried on and made the whole journey so much easier. It was all sort of, I guess what we call it, science, reality-based. I don't know,
Well, it's all built around data.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I say it all the time. I said, if two people weigh 100 kilos and one of them has 60 kilos of muscle and the other bloke has 80, they don't need the same calories or protein because it's the muscle mass that we're looking to optimize. So, real quick, so with that, so coming into the rebuild, you knew we were serious when we did the DEXA scan and we made you take the before photos. That kind of made you go, oh shit, I've actually got to do this. That's cool though, because we have a 12-week commitment. This is not a 48-week commitment. We don't lock you in for that long. We lock you in for 12 weeks. 100-day rebuild is what we call it, including your induction week. First 12 weeks, what did you lose?
Oh, what did I get in the 12? I was going to look this up before I got here. I remember this. I think we dropped, it was always hanging around at nearly a kilo a week. So I think we came in at about 14, 15 in the first 12.
It's usually quicker in the first 12.
Yeah, it came off really quick. There was a few 2.5 kilos a week. So I think we averaged out about 3-4 kilos in front of where it was in time. So 15 to 12 weeks.
Yeah. So 15 kilos in 12 weeks, like that's no joke. A lot of guys get that and they go, oh, I'm done. And they've got that challenge mindset that you had previously.
That's right.
So what was it with you that clicked and went, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to trust this guy's process and I'm just going to see how far I can take it. What was...
Because the whole journey was working, and yes, I've been in there, but it was done under different like the data, and I could just from that day one, I still felt that no, I can go further with this. I can definitely go further with this. I'm definitely going to do number 2. Everything's there and it's pushing me in the right way. I didn't want to. I sort of said to myself at the start too, I'm going to turn this in. I think even part of the declaration, I sort of said, this is going to be a 12-month journey for me. I'm done with these 12 weeks. I'm done with that. I'm 46. I've done that many of them, 8, 10, 12-week challenges. That, no, this isn't going to be another one of those. For me, this is going to be...
12-month rebuild.
I've got to give it 12 months. It's got to be. You've got to do it properly.
Yep.
You can't do it fast. You can't do it... some people may or may not, but not me. To me, I committed. I said, I've got to do it for 12. I already had 2nd and 3rd locked in.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was already going to do the 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
There was no doubt. Because for me, it was definitely, this is it. I'm going to do it properly.
Yeah. Okay. Had you decided that before you started or after you started?
No, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. At least, definitely, I had the first 2 in. Because again, when I got that first one started, or when I say started, I had made that decision when I'd started after that first initial contact that first. So when we did that DEXA scan, we got the first one. I thought, I'm going to do 12. I'll be definitely doing the second.
Okay. Yeah.
Straight away, because I knew that this was going to be different.
And here we are about six weeks shy of 12 months.
Yes.
Yeah. So by the time the 12 months comes up, we'll be reversing your calories and rebuilding the metabolism.
Yeah.
Which is, and I think I was trying to say this before, but we digressed. You're eating 2,700 calories a day and still losing close to a kilo a week.
That's right.
Even at the end of all of this, which is insane. So your metabolism really did kind of pick up and start working for you again.
Yep.
Which is amazing considering you were holding 45 kilos of fat and you're 46 years young. A lot of people think, oh, my metabolism's gone. I need to get on a Ozempic, or I need to do TRT. It must be my testosterone. Let me go and inject testosterone in my fucking back, or let me go and do Ozempic. So it's incredible. Like your rebuild has been amazing, and all I'm looking for is for people to actually just follow instruction for long enough to get the result.
Exactly.
And that's the most difficult part for us, honestly, as a coach. With all this other stuff online constantly, right? And you've got these big influencers that make a lot more money than me and have a lot more followers than me saying, oh, Ozempic's actually good, you should do it. And hey, I'm on TRT and I'm 35 and it's fucking good, you should do it. Testosterone's the key. I want to know, how did you block out all of that shit? Because regardless of how good I am or how good we are at the MPT rebuild, there's just too much opposition. There's too much of this shiny object syndrome bullshit. There's too much Ozempic, TRT, do this, influencers projecting it, whatever. What made you just put on the tunnel vision and say, I'm just going to do this rebuild with these guys and I'm just going to follow this process until I get the result, versus getting distracted and listening to all the noise online?
The Ozempic one, well, for me, because I'm always a bit of a scaredy cat. I don't like to. I always thought, well, is it going to fuck me up long term? So that, to me, it's a little bit of trepidation.
Good. Yeah. More people should be like that.
Yeah. So Ozempic's an easy one. My mum's diabetic, and when Wegovy was going hammer and tongs, she was actually struggling to get it, and that actually annoyed me. People going out doing the Wegovy and all that, which actually took away a lot of people that were type 2 diabetics were struggling to get it, because it was just, everyone was just drawing it out. And,
oh, wow.
And all of a sudden you're like, I need this shit to live. It's out of stock at the moment because it's just gone, it's just gone nuts. That was one. And I read a lot of comments too, even up to this day. You get a lot of the comments online when people talk about Ozempic, and some people saying, I need that. Like, all people going, they're sort of finding out now that Ozempic's not doing this and doing that there. And I was actually reading something yesterday going, it works for me because I use it for type 2 diabetes. I don't have an issue with it. So all that sort of stuff. And for me, it's just block it out, just trust the process and just do it and do the hard work. And the hard work in the gym also, I like it.
Yeah,
so
you're already into that, weren't you?
I was always into that and following that. And it's all just sort of coming together now. So everything that hard work that I'm doing, it's better when you're doing it for the, and you're getting the results purely from that. It's more the fruits of your labour.
Yep, love it. Okay. So thank God you did trust the process, because we got you here, and you've done it in a healthy way, which is most important.
Exactly.
So if we look at your timeline, you're 11 months, let's just call it.
Yeah.
Thereabouts, roughly. Yep. You've lost 47 kilos of fat. Your calories are sitting at about 2,700, which is very healthy. You've got a healthy relationship with food. At the moment.
And see, food relationship has never been, that's the problem with me. I've never been one of those biggest losers where you're gorging on 2 litres of Coke and chips and pies and that. Yes, I haven't eaten well and portion size has been out.
Yep.
But I've got a good relationship with it now, and I haven't touched a donut in that in 12 months. And even then I still get past that. But no, the healthy relationship's there. It's good, and I'm enjoying the good foods.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah. So if we go back to where you are in 11 months, lost the weight, built healthy habits, your lifestyle's fantastic. It suits you. It's very easy for you to do. Your mindset's great. You're happier bloke, versus someone that might do Ozempic. They might lose the same amount of weight, but they've lost muscle tissue. Their metabolism is in the dunny. It's not going to be 2,700 like yours. And they probably still have a mental issue with food. They haven't executed the discipline and actually done the rebuild and worked on themselves and understanding why they've gotten to that level of body fat in the first place. So guess what happens when they stop it? It goes straight back to fucking their set point. Whereas you, I know for a fact that you've reset your set point. And that's the difference.
And even Ozempic and all that there we touch on too. The other ones is, and I have looked down that path of like your gastric bandings and all that. I've looked into that before. Clearly stayed away from that because, again, Ozempic, you might take that and then you might stop it. And yes, you'll go back to air. But things like gastric banding and that, these are going next level, where some of it might be a bit hard to be reversed. And There's a few people in the circles around my wife's circles and out there that have had it done, and a few people I know of that relationship with food. Yeah, I know of a few people sort of close in the inner circles that have had the gastric bandings and all that done, but don't have that really bad relationship with food, and they're snacking at night, they're gorging on stuff, and they're eating, and then they're vomiting, and then they're just completely wiping themselves out like they've been on a big food bender, and it's destroying them because they don't have that. They haven't learnt how to eat.
Yeah,
all they've done is had something shrink their stomach that they can't.
Yep.
It's basically working because they just physically can't fit it in there, but they're still trying to stuff it with the wrong shit.
Yeah, I agree. It's these short-term solutions, really. Yep. It's like stepping over that dollar coin, $100 note to pick up a dollar coin. It's just madness to me. But we are in that day and age, like you said. It's a hard world now.
Yep. Everyone wants it. If there was an app to fix weight loss, I'm sure it'll sell well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the human body's not meant to be that overweight. Like there's some issues going on that you need to address, which we've done. So with you, I just want to touch on that too, because you just mentioned the wife had people in her circles. My partner said to me today when I was going to film, she said he must have had a really supportive missus. She must have been really on board with him and helped with the household, eating healthily and doing the right foods. Because you'd be surprised how many misses we get that are the opposite and derail their partner, their man, unfortunately, whether they get, jealous or they want to have a different meal every night and they want to eat freely and whatever.
Yep.
So explain to me how she was kind of an asset to you during this period. So she was involved in the meal prepping and the cooking at all, was she? Or
not a lot. And that's not through like I'm not helping you. It's just that she understood. She helped. She buys it. She makes sure that she sort of
you've got your shopping list sorted.
Got my shopping list sorted. Yeah, I'd send her the shopping list. She'd buy it all.
Okay.
I did a lot of my meal prep. That's more me though. I'm a bit of a OCD. I like to make sure everything, and I've got the way I cook with the air fryer and everything. Everything's on a timer and everything finishes at the same time.
Okay.
So I do all that, and I'm a clean as I go type bloke.
Okay.
She has the kitchen in a bomb, but anyway, that's another story. But just the support in terms of doesn't necessarily have to be doing all my meal prep and doing everything for me.
Exactly.
Just being in the back end and not trying to sabotage.
Correct.
Is enough.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's as simple as that. Just not trying to come home and just sit there and
there's a pizza waiting for you. Yeah, come have pizza with the family.
No, have that there. And we've had obviously a lot of kids' birthdays, my birthday, her birthday, other family dues coming around where they've had the Chinese takeaway nights and all that there, and I've had my meal, and then that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Just accepting it, not come on.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. They're just you're here because there's two sides of that. They're not trying to sabotage it on you, which is one thing. They're accepting it. But then on the other side of the coin, you're also using that as your own willpower to say, well, I don't need to do it. And it's easy to have that willpower when they're not sabotaging it either.
I agree.
When they're not sitting there going, you're, just basically teasing you about it, going, is this all you're going to do all your life? You're just going to live like this? They're just, no, that's fine. We'll do this, you do that, and we can still talk and eat.
Exactly.
Just eating two different things. It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
It's pretty simple, really, isn't it?
Very simple, supportive.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be over the top. That's the other thing. People, you've got to. And sometimes less is best. So sometimes people might look at something and go, you're not very supportive, but you know what?
She just let you do you.
Exactly.
Without nagging at you, like you're saying.
Just let you do you. Exactly. That's the easiest way to sum it up. Just let you do you. And
do you think that she was, I mean, and there's so many different personality types and bloody star signs and astrology and all the rest of it, but do you think that she was supportive because she knew how important the goal was to you?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You kind of made it known, hey, look, I really want to do this properly this time.
Like I said, we got married young, so she's basically followed half of my life. Like I got married when I was 20, and I'm 46. So she's basically been me the other half.
Yeah.
So I've done my school life as what it is, and I've done my adult life as the overweight with her. So she knows exactly where it sits with me. She knows exactly how, as a person, it made me, and then all the wins I've had with the photos and that. I'll send her a photo and all that, and she'll be encouraging to send me back a message. So, I'll jump on the scales with the new weight, and I'll take the photo and I'll send it to her at work, and she'll go, wow, fantastic. Really
amazing.
Proud of you.
Okay, and what about the kids? As your example of what you're doing, eating healthily and looking after yourself.
Yep. All my kids, I've got 4 adult kids and one younger one. The 4 adult kids are all into gym. They've all got they're all doing most of them are all into their powerlifting, but they're all gymming every day, obviously with the home gym, so they're all into that. They're eating and they're their lifestyles. They're following what they follow for them.
Okay.
So definitely, hopefully I haven't been, going back sort of a few steps before, and I said I probably could have been a little bit better as a father in those sorts of things. The one thing I am glad, though, is that I've always had that gym around me. I've always, every house I've lived over 3 houses and I've had a home gym in all of them, a decent one. I've always set it up.
Yep.
Haven't used it enough, but anyway, but that's been, I'm glad that's been enough to push them down that path though. It got them down into there. And my eldest is really supportive. Like he's said to me things like, I know how much this has meant to you, and seeing the photos, exactly like my wife, he's the same. So they know in the background.
Yep. That's awesome. All right, so I want to reverse it back. We're kind of running out of time.
Yep.
And just give the viewers a bit of an idea of this first 12 weeks. So, like, what did the first meal plan look like for you? Like, what did your day look like? So you got up. What did you do with work, and what did you food and gym, and just because a lot of people will sit here and they'll look at you today, and you're going to look ridiculous on camera, right? There's going to be veins and muscle, and they're going to be like, oh, he's got to be like in the gym 7 days a week doing cardio. He's got to be eating fish and lettuce. He's got to be just starving, no carbs. They see that. They see me. They see, and they got this Sylvester Stallone training for Rocky mindset. Like, that's what it takes for you to get in this shape. So I'm always trying to bring them down to reality and say, hey, this is how simple our system is. It's simple. It's not always easy compared to what you've been doing.
Yep.
If you're eating freely and you're not tracking food and you're not weighing things and you're eating on your emotions, then coming to a rebuild is different. But it's pretty simple. Would you agree?
It's very simple. It's very, like, the day for me was obviously we did that first initial. You set out the plans and what we eat based on the calories. That's all worked out. So you're not doing the calorie counting. You're just getting the list. You coach each week. So CJ's been ringside the whole time.
Yep.
He would just punch it out. It's either a rinse and repeat, or we will add and subtract on how it goes. But basically, the majority of my food, and I like simple. I've pretty much been eating the same for 12 months. For me, that works.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of changing it every week because too much clutter, too much mess just makes it harder. But it's just a yogurt fruit smoothie in the morning, 5 minutes to make. Throw it all in the Ninja,
right?
Bang, with protein.
Yeah.
Yep, with a protein shake. The morning snack has generally just been anything around a couple of eggs, some ham, or there was a couple of stages there we were cooking a couple of bits of bacon and just it was a wrap or a bit of toast. Obviously, as it increased, but
There's some
right
fruit in there as well, I think, wasn't it?
Yep. And then afternoon was just some fruit. So your apple, kiwi fruit, obviously your carrot and your kiwis, your non-negotiables. But the fruit in the afternoon and just a simple protein bar. That was it. That was afternoon. Lunch was just chicken wraps. Chicken for me, it was 200 grams of raw. I buy a kilo. So I know straight away there's 5.
It's 5 days.
Kilo raw, yep. Cook it all. Just put some spices on it. Throw it in the oven. Cook it. Cut it all up. Throw it all in a container. Weigh that. As soon as I've cut it into that container, weigh it as soon as it's done. So that'll usually a kilo comes in at about 800.
Okay.
So now you know that 800 over your 5 turns out to be about 150 for your lunch. Throw the wraps, whether it was 1 or 2. Throw the wrap down. Throw the chicken on it with the whey, and that's it. And eat it.
Yeah. Do you have mayo or not? No mayo.
A little bit of like aioli or a little bit of the low-cal sauce that we had there. So just a little sprinkle of that, just spread it out, just enough to give it taste, pepper and salt.
Yep.
Mixed lettuce and that if you wanted it. Sometimes I did. Sometimes it was just the chicken and the wrap and the sauce. That's to me, simple's fine.
Yep.
And then dinner was just our steak, 250 steak. Again, just buy all that, cut them up, weigh it. Your spud lights. So that started out at 200 grams, and then we upped that to 300. So that increased more. Cut them all up, throw them in an air fryer with a bit of pepper and salt, and they're chips.
Yeah, I agree.
Steak and chips, mate.
Yeah, I do it most nights.
Yeah, that's a little bit of greens on the side. I throw a couple of little bits of green, a little stick of broccoli or that, or salad in the summer.
Yep.
And then I did my training at night. So for me, getting up early in the mornings, making that smoothie is fast. Preparing the lunch and all that, do that. If you cook all that chicken there, it takes literally 5 minutes to make. Throw it on a wrap it up. It's done. Dinner's easy. Just cut the steak, cut the spuds, throw it in a Ninja. 20 minutes it takes to cook tea. From the time you start, that's the longest. The spuds take the longest. Everything else is easy.
Yep.
Throw it on the barbie, sit down and eat. It has been simple and easy, straightforward, nothing hard about it. Then I do my training at 7:30 because that's what fits me.
Yep.
Morning just doesn't work.
It's okay.
But gym's an hour. An hour and 10. Cardio, 10 minutes warm up.
So only cardio you did to get here?
No, I did some extra cardio. I like going for a walk.
Yeah.
And I got a treadmill at home. So I did a little bit of extra cardio here and there just to keep myself sane though. Just on an off day, I might do 15 minutes on a treadmill.
Yeah,
nothing hard, just an incline walk. I'm not out doing HIIT, battle ropes, jogging.
Boot camps,
boot camps, none of that. It's basically just walking. For me, walking keeps me moving. As I get older, I get a bit stiffer. So really when it says cardio, just low intensity walk on an incline, done.
Yep. And then after gym, you had
After gym was usually it's some sort of a shake. So it was a protein shake.
Yep.
Sometimes it was just a protein shake on its own. As we built those calories up, we started to add Cocoa Pops and that into it.
Yeah, had your favourite cereal.
that is the highlight of the day. The Cocoa Pops was
yeah.
the highlight of the
Yeah.
day. I mean, protein with Cocoa Pops and that, what's so hard about it and what's not enjoyable?
Yeah.
You know,
So-
we're not
so-
eating boring chicken and broccoli, we're eating Cocoa Pops.
Exactly, yeah. So pretty simple. You had a protein smoothie with some yogurt and fruits.
Yep.
You had eggs and bacon on toast by
Pretty
the sounds
much.
of it.
Yep.
You had chicken wraps. You
Chicken
actually
wraps.
built up to 2 chicken wraps I saw at one
two
point.
chicken, it started off as one and we worked our way up to
Incredible. Protein shake or bar with some fruit as an Arvo snack.
Fruit and apple and that,
Steak, potato, veggie kind of dinner. And then you had
That's it.
protein and cereal.
Cereal for
at night.
after workout, yep.
Yeah. So
In the
really,
bed.
you could say 2 solids, 3 shakes.
That's it,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Which is how I've run it forever.
Yep.
I typically do two solid meals, a chicken and a beef, and then two protein shakes. You know, how many carbs and fats and stuff I have will depend on where I'm at, but it's a pretty simple process, right? Hit the gym 5 times a week.
5 times a week, yep.
Yep.
And
And within
follow
that
one, yep.
And within that first 12-week rebuild, you lost 14 to 15 kilos.
14 to 15 kilos, yep.
Yeah. And then we kicked the can down the road, 48-week rebuild, using very similar system, except we changed a few things here
A couple
and
of
there.
things got added in, everything it went up. So each time it actually increased, but along the same lines, yes.
Yep. 48 weeks, we're now 47 kilos down.
Yep.
Insane. It's the oldest you've ever been. I like to say this. It's the oldest you've ever been, and it's the best shape you've ever been in your
100%.
life.
It is the best I've ever been in.
Incredible.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, well, we might cut it here because there's a lot of more questions I've got, but we'll do it in the gym.
do it in
I've
the
got
gym.
a cameraman booked in, and we're going to be pushing for time as usual. But just want to say thanks for coming out and sharing your story, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really good chance to kind of highlight and document your success. So this is something that'll stay on YouTube and Spotify and Instagram, TikTok, Facebook for as long as you want it to.
Yeah, no, I've got
So
no
you
problems,
can look back on this if you ever do fall off the wagon again and kind of see who
Yeah,
you
no,
are and
definitely.
what you can fucking
What
do
you
when
can
you
do,
put your
that's
mind to
right,
it. So congrats on I think
thanks.
one of about 10 blokes I think now we've gotten over the 40 kilo mark,
Yeah, that's good. And
which is no joke.
Oh, and hopefully this just pushes more lads to do the same. It's at the end of the day, anyone listening to that to it, it's just you do the work, you reap the rewards, and it's not hard, and it's been enjoyable. It has been an enjoyable process. That's one of the main things. It's actually been enjoyable.
Yeah, amazing. So I've just done the maths here, mate. So 47 kilos, 7,700 calories in 1 kilo of fat. So you've burnt 361,000 calories in that period of time.
Jeez.
To lose that, yeah.
A long set of trips on the treadmill to burn that many.
Exactly. You just can't do it without upgrading your lifestyle
you
to
can't.
suit.
You gotta,
All
that's
the
right.
gimmicks don't work. They'll get through a handful or 2 of kilos of fat, and then you're back in no man's land, scratching your head, going, "Do I do DRT? Do I do Ozempic? Should I try fasting, keto?" You really just need to rebuild your metabolism. Fix
exactly.
your lifestyle. Find a training method that you enjoy, which biasly, I think our MPT training system is quite enjoyable.
Add on too is the training's been good too. It's just good old fashioned weightlifting.
Yeah.
It's nothing sort of that you can't handle. It's weird that and because you're doing old fashioned weight training, each body part has 4 or 5 different movements you can do for it to do the same thing. So there's alternatives. Whereas some of the other trainings, they're getting you to do things that it's that or nothing. You know, headstands and headstand push-ups and all that sort of stuff. And it's the other way around, and that's the beauty. Even at 46, some of those movements and that you can manipulate that in the gym, and it's easy. Yeah.
Well, it's not even about being 46. It's about being 132 kilos, carrying 45
right.
kilos of fat.
Yep.
There are certain things you just can't do.
Well, pull-ups, pull-ups is pull-ups are still hard for everyone.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'm sure you'll blast through some today.
I can punch a few more of them out than what I could there. And,
Yeah.
when you're not carrying that extra 47 kilos, it's pretty easy.
Yeah. And I mean, at that size, you shouldn't be doing boot camp stuff. You shouldn't be doing burpees and, even bodyweight squats to a degree. You probably, in your case, you could because you had a powerlifting background, but you probably shouldn't be doing that.
No.
You should be on a leg extension. You should be on a leg press. You should be in safe movements where you can actually
and
exert
then work up.
energy in a safe way where you're not ruining your joints because you are so big.
And that's why a lot of guys drop out too. You go to that boot camp, it destroys you for 3
Oh,
weeks.
man. Watching The Biggest Loser doco on Netflix, I'm just cringing, going, oh, man, it doesn't have to be like that,
It doesn't. And I mean, I can say myself, I'm sort of proof of that. It does not have to be like that at all.
Agree.
It does not have to be.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for your time today, mate.
No, perfect.
Any final words for anyone that's skeptical or on the fence?
Don't. Just do it. Don't be skeptical. Just do it. It works. Follow the process. It's as simple as that. Listen to the coach. Follow the process. It's enjoyable. It's easy. And and again, anything will only give back what you give it. So just be truthful to yourself.
Yeah.
Do it. Follow that process. Listen, learn, and
Yeah. So you reckon Nike's the biggest sports brand for a reason? Just do it.
just do it. That's
They
it.
nailed it.
They nailed it.
Awesome. All right.